because one does not get to lead a group of Scarlet Dragonborn without being a very capable fighter. You are all now given somewhat privacy. I mean, you're in a tent. It's made from hide and wood, so to say that you have complete privacy would be very inaccurate. But you are at least somewhat sectioned off from the hustle and bustle of the camp. It is just the group of you in there, along with Ambrosia, who has not yet released Melody from a hug. But finally, she does.
I'm just gonna give him room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Finally, she does and takes a step back and looks to you all, bows politely. It is wonderful, truly, to meet you all. I am Ambrosia of the Ivory.
Well,
Greetings.
it's
Hello.
wonderful to meet you. We have heard bits and pieces from Melody.
Oh, I certainly hope not.
She kind of blanks.
She kind of is giving you a wry
that's
grin.
That's not what you say in a social situation.
She's giving you a little wry grin.
Oh, okay. Oh, a joke.
Melody, dear. Yeah.
Is this humor?
Sorry.
She looks at you, Melody. Well, before we all speak, I believe I owe Melody a lot. And
We can move.
yes, she calls for the guard who had been standing outside.
Indeed.
Will you please go provide them with a spot that they can camp out? Probably best if you sit them away from the other Dragonborn. But within the boundaries of the camp, please. I would like them to be as protected as possible. And the guard gives her a look, and she gives a look right back. And he then nods to you. All right, come on.
Very well. We will follow without
Indeed.
question.
Yep.
So everyone else starts to step out, and Cerberus does go along as well.
Cardboard cutout.
Yeah, cardboard cutout Cerberus also heads out. And Melody, you are then left alone with Ambrosia. She looks at you. Gosh, you've grown so much.
How? How are you?
Here, leading Scarlet Dragonborn. Yeah.
Alive?
Well, I had a job to do, and I could not allow myself to die before I completed it. Please sit. And she motions. There's a couple of like pillows on the ground, or cushions really, and she goes over to sit at one with you. I don't have much in the way of supplies for cooking out here, but I do have some tea if you like.
I have so many questions.
Well, I would say you have more than earned some answers. So, ask away.
Where's Mama?
She is well and alive. Worry not. Celesta is in High Peak currently. She has, where I have found a way to make myself useful moving about and serving with the Rangers, she serves in the Home Guard and is a personal attendant to our master.
Your master?
Yes. It's somewhat complicated. You will see when we take you there.
But how are you in? Mom, I thought you guys.
and she looks like she's having like she's experiencing and feeling so many emotions right now. The
Yeah.
only thing that's coming out of her is like bits and pieces before a
She's gonna.
floodgate opens and
Yeah.
she just bursts into tears.
Yeah. She shifts over and just puts an arm around you and lets you cry for as long as you need to. And when you are able to somewhat gather yourself, she speaks again. Let's start at the beginning, then. You know, I've practiced what I was going to say to you more times than I can count. And that practice is for naught. All I ask is that you allow me to say all of it before you respond.
And Melody just kind of like nods meekly. And like pinches her thumb and her forefinger together and just like moves it across her snout.
Mm-hmm.
Snout.
That night, so many years ago, it feels like now. What was it now? 5, 6 years almost? I had a dream. We were staying in Lockheed's Landing at the time. And I dreamt of you. You and faces that I could not see, but they were your friends. It was so vivid. You look as you do now, not as you did then. You were traveling, climbing through a mountain range that I did not recognize, or at least a part of it that I did not recognize. It was the Soren Range, but not near our home. And you died. All of you. There was no way for you to get through. And I knew instinctively in the dream that it was my job to make sure you had a way through. And then I awakened. And it was strange. Dreams are fleeting things. They are gone as soon as you begin to wake up. You start to forget. But I remember that dream as clearly today as I did that night. I would have just ignored it and put it off. Except that morning I joked about it with Celesta, and she'd had the same dream. And we knew that it was not a dream. We had been given a prophecy from Laki. We had been given a quest, a task that we were to fulfill to ensure you would have a safe way through these mountains. And we have stopped at nothing to do so ever since. She kind of glances down. But I have missed you.
I miss you too, Mom.
So many nights I wanted to just abandon it, give up, come back and find you. But those faces that I couldn't see in the dream, if I did that, you wouldn't meet them. She looks off towards the east. I expect the people out there around that fire are those faces.
I'm sorry I didn't go home right away.
She kind of tilts her head. Go home.
Back then, you told me to run and go back home.
I did. But if you did not, then it is because you were not meant to. Look at where your journey has taken you. Look where your feet have taken you. You are strong and brave, and I don't know, is that a armor of the matriarch?
Oh,
Well,
she made me a paladin of hers.
At that, tears begin to well in her eyes, and one drips down her cheek. Then I am eternally grateful to her for taking care of my child. You are a good paladin to her.
I hope so.
I know so. You may not have gone home, Melody, but you honor our people. You labor to make the world better. And not just through word, but deed as well. I'm proud of you.
I missed you and Mama.
And we you. But our absence has not been without fruit. We have found you a way through. I can get
How?
you to the other side of the Soren mountain range. You will see when we get to High Peak. I wish I could share more, but I am bound by my oath not to.
Oath to who?
My master. You will meet them when we get there.
And Melody just kind of like wipes the tears from her eyes and stands up and offers a hand to Ambrosia.
She takes your hand, and you can feel that her hands are different than you remember them. She has always had something of dishwater hands. She has worked most of her life in the kitchen, but now her hands are much rougher, especially around the knuckles, where you can see a great number of her scales have been broken away and had to regrow, almost like scar tissue going over, but she now has the hands of a fighter. As she takes yours and gets back to her feet, you can hear some of her bones cracking a little bit. She has been clearly very busy over the last 5 years, but she looks mostly as you remember her. Benefit of Dragonborn as they don't visibly age too much once they reach adulthood.
Well, you mentioned that they were faces that you don't know in your dream.
They were.
We're gonna change that.
Okay.
They're lovely people. Even Darius. He made me into a knight too. Or
Night.
paladin. Which
My-
was
My
why
daughter,
I
a knight.
guess only in spirit, I think. But I had a lot of thinking and a lot of it was not great because I felt very guilty about a lot of things, like not going home and being out here and not being a performer and doing performer stuff. And this one's gonna have a really, really, really bad time if I tell her any of this.
I see. Well, I would love to meet your friends.
Oh yeah, we have a name and everything.
A name? And
Uh-huh.
what may I call you?
Oh we're the whispers in silence.
She thinks about that for a moment. How fitting a name. For all the nights that I struggled so much, your voice on the wind, a whisper in silence, is what kept me going.
I still remember the performance that you and Mama did the night we got separated.
Yeah.
Is what kept me going.
When this is over with, I would like very much to perform with your mother again. The Scarlet don't have as much use for performance as the Ivory. They value their energies being put elsewhere. But when this is over, I look forward to seeing home again and seeing the rest of the continent and performing. I miss it.
We can do it together. You and me and Mama. Oh,
That would
and
be
we
very
can
nice.
have so many foods and and there's one that's called a latte. I really like it a lot. Every time I got to drink it gave me energy and stuff, but it
You
also
might
made me talk really fast.
you might
But it
say you
was
like it a
really
latte. She nods.
And Melody just kind of like giggles at that.
Well, take me out and introduce me to your friends. I should like to meet the ones who travel with my daughter.
Yes. Okay. So there's Rialta. She's a really smart one. Then
She steps up with you and starts to walk you out as you make your way over towards the other side of the camp. Whispers, you see these two approaching as Melody seems to be talking about each of you.
and then there's my horn buddy.
Wait, what was that last one?
We're horn buddies. She's my horn buddy, called Anna.
Is
It's because
something
we
I
have
should know?
what? It's because
she-
we both have horns. She's my buddy,
Ah. She
and we have to
glances.
sing together.
What's her face is just dying.
She looks to Caldana and bows very low.
Aldana looks like she's dying internally.
Well then, how old are you?
It's not like that. She doesn't understand innuendos, and she started calling me.
I suppose that would be my fault.
What is it innuendo?
It is when someone speaks in a way that would imply something lewd or licentious, but does so with words that aren't normally such.
Technically, it could just simply be something that has two different meanings, but yes, it is usually used for lewd and licentious things. She thinks
She's
like,
really smart.
Indeed. Well, first of all, welcome to our camp. My name is Ambrosia of the Ivory, although the Scarlet refer to me as Angel Wing. I wish to thank you all for, well, taking care of Melody and for being kind to her.
of course. She is one of us.
In fact, yes.
So, Rialta, Caldana, she looks to Brux and Falah. She motions towards you, Brux.
Yes, and
And
my
then
daughter,
Falah.
Falah.
Okay, and
Yes.
Sir Varus.
It's a little quiet today.
Yes, well, welcome. I am excited to host the Whispers in Silence in our camp. You do us a great honor.
Well, we are.
They fight real good.
I have no doubt.
And Brooks is like you and Mama a lot to Falah.
Falah is not sitting around the fire. She is a good probably 10 feet away and is just kind of huddled up. She glances out towards Falah. Is she all right?
She's been having something of a difficult time. I shall see to her and I'll walk over.
See? She's like you and Mama.
It's really apparent.
I know that you need to cross the Soren mountain range and get to the other side.
Yes.
I
we-
can't say that I know why, but I have known for a long time that you would need to.
Oh, that's helpful. Did you gain a vision from one of the goddesses?
I did,
Oh,
as did my wife.
Oh.
We saw that were we not to act, there would be no way for you all to cross.
well, that is very fortunate, as it would seem.
Fortune has nothing to do with it. It was planned.
That is true. But as I've had to learn, even if the gods plan something, it is up to us mortals to actually carry it out.
That is true. They can show us the door, but only we can walk through it, I suppose.
Indeed.
Well, then we will escort you to High Peak tomorrow. It will take us 2 days to reach it. There you will meet my master, and pending her approval, you will be able to move beyond that and exit on the other side of the Soren mountain range.
Well, that certainly if it's that easy, that would be good.
Can you turn your mic up a little bit, Rialta?
Yeah, okay. I thought it was going to be too loud.
No, you're coming up a little quiet.
All right. There
All
you
right.
go.
Yep, that's better.
Appreciate you, dude. Face guy 69.
Welcome in.
Welcome in. She will. I do apologize. Has she explained how a ivory dragon has come to work with a red scarlet? Okay.
Nope, she is not.
I do have a question. If
Yes.
You will oblige me.
Of course. It is the least I can do.
I know not very much about Dragonborn, but from what I understand, the colors tend to stay associated with one another.
Yes, save for when we're at war, we do not seldom intermingle.
I see. Is that why you are here?
I have come here because to procure a way through the mountains in Farhome, where the ivory dragonborn are from, would not do you any good. You, in our vision, you were up on this end of the continent, so that is where we came to, well, help out, and this happens to be the dominion of the Scarlet Dragonborn.
So you came here on account of prophecy, I suppose.
Yes.
And how did you gain your entrance here? I can't imagine they let that be easy.
No.
I don't remember you did any of the
And she kind of like tries to mimic what what Ambrosia did and just doing like "Pachoo-choo," that kind of thing.
Yes, in that time we were less adept in the martial ways. No, when we first came here, we were not searching to work with the Scarlet. We were just looking for a way through the mountains, adventuring, climbing, spelunking, looking for any possible way to get through. It was purely by chance that we ended up meeting a Scarlet Dragonborn who was injured. We nursed them back to health, and in exchange, they showed us the way to High Peak so that we could be thanked. We were, of course, warned that our presence may not be welcome, and if it wasn't, our lives would be forfeit, but we had grown somewhat desperate after 2 years of searching. And we went. Fortunately, our master was quite, amenable to what we suggested, and helped. We were also given a great degree of training from the Scarlet, who don't have as much taste for performance as the Ivory do, and I took to it quite well, more than I would have thought, and it was actually just this last few months that I was given command of this particular unit, and there has been some... She glances around and sees that almost no one makes eye contact with her. There has been some dissatisfaction with the decision, but our master seems to stand by it.
Well,
Yeah, you haven't made them your food, have you?
I have cooked for them actually quite a number of times. Not in this grouping. That would be seen as very inappropriate in the Scarlet Dragonborn's hierarchy for the commander to cook.
What about for a guest?
Well, one should always prepare food for a guest, but normally I would be expected to have the cooks do it. Though for you, I suppose I could be convinced. She smiles.
And I happen to have grown a very big appetite.
As you are all
Maybe
talking...
enough for the whole camp.
I see. As you're all talking, you see her grab a pot and put it over the fire, and she starts to do some kind of basic prep right there. And indeed, Melody was not kidding. She is a skilled chef. As you see her work while talking, not even thinking about it. It's all muscle memory. But she nods. Is there anything else that I might answer for you?
Well, yeah,
Sorry, my dog's like.
No worries.
this damn dog in the background.
How obtuse.
As
I don't know.
Tashira kind of glances over from where she's sitting in the camp. So, you're Lady Melody's mom. I didn't see the resemblance, she says, kind of motioning to Melody's amethyst purple scales and Ambrosia's almost platinum white or platinum silver. Huh.
Is her other mother, perhaps?
No, Celesta is also ivory scaled. Melody was, well, we thought her beautiful the moment we saw her.
Recessive traits.
I'm
Interesting.
sorry?
Recessive traits. She looks around.
oh yeah, Mom. I learned that I have another mom, and I have a lot of brothers and sisters. And I
Well,
don't.
that's technically accurate. I mean, all Dragonborn come from broods, and yes, you are part of the brood mother of the Ivory. Is technically you're technically her daughter by birth, although we raised you, so you are our daughter. She seems to really kind of hammer that point home. No, you're right. You're Celesta and I did not birth you.
No, but that's so cool though. I get three moms and a whole bunch of brothers and sisters. The family's bigger than ever. I can't wait to tell Discord.
Discord?
Remember the neighbor's kid?
Right. Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that in so long.
Every time we came home, everyone's like, "Oh, there goes Discord and Melody again,
Yep.
causing trouble."
Oh
It's
man.
like, I don't cause trouble. Discord does, and I just happen to get roped into it.
That's right. Gosh, I haven't thought about that in so long. Almost as long as the DM.
Aw, the names even go together.
Yeah, I know, right? She nods, and but she nods to Tashira. Yes, Melody is my daughter, and Tashira nods. Great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she's just like kind of like smiling and nodding. She looks very uncomfortable.
Hmm.
What?
And Ambrosia raises an eyebrow. Mm-hmm.
Is this one of those innuendo thingies?
Not exactly. Tashira quickly stands up. Well, I'm gonna go get some water, and she
Oh,
bolts
wait,
away. Oh,
wait.
what?
Wait, I need.
What?
There are a few things I need to ask.
Of Tashira?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Oh, of course, Lady Melody, and she hurries back over to you a little faster than she should, probably.
Perhaps
Did
the
the-
two of you
did-
could go get water together?
Yes. Would you care to accompany me to get some water?
Oh, yeah.
She
where-
offers
where
her arm.
And she picks up a bucket and puts it on there.
Oof.
Tashira
And
gives
she
a
picks
look.
up the other bucket.
You can almost see Tashira's soul leave her body.
Oh, she got to work for this.
Yep. But she nods. Oh, of course. No, I'll grab that. And she picks up the other one. Hold up. No, they're empty buckets right now. She can totally carry this. But her and her 7 strength may struggle with it when they're full.
Oh, no.
Wait, she only has 7 strength?
Yeah, she's a dex-based fighter. She's got
Oh,
her
fuck.
strength is her dump stat. She's got a 7 in it.
Oof.
Melody's stronger than her.
Oh yeah, she's got a 20 dexterity, but she has a 7 strength.
Oh my god.
But yeah, she excitedly walks off with you. We'll jump over real quick to Falah and Brux. Brux, as you walk over towards your daughter, she is kind of just sitting with her knees pulled up against her chest. She does not look good. She is pale. It's kind of a sickly pale green. And her hair looks a little bit thinned. On the tips of her fingers, you can see a little bit of the skin around the tips of her fingers is tinged black.
Oh no.
And she's just kind of like shaking. As you get close, make a perception check for me.
Okay. I got too much shit in my fucking dice tray. We're just rolling it straight on the desk. Not great. That's a 10.
So you don't hear anything as you walk over, but you do see her mouth moving a little bit like she's talking.
Any sound coming out?
I would say as you get very close, yes, you can just make out her say, "Don't worry, Syria. Mom will be home soon."
Get very slow as I get close, hand on back. Hey.
She kind of jumps. "Oh, you made it. Mom. Look." And she motions. "Saria's here to see you." She seems very out of it.
Are you thirsty? I'll get you some water.
I'm okay, I think, but Saria's wanting to talk to you. She won't stop asking me about you.
Hold
What?
on. Where are you?
We're
Where are we right now?
we're Raktala. We're home.
No. I need you to snap out of this.
What? I don't.
We're on the edge of the. Wait, no. We're not actually on the edge of the mountains, are we?
Not yet, no. But you're not.
No.
You're near the edge of the
We're-
exclusion zone.
Okay, yeah, we're by the exclusion zone, and like snap my fingers twice in front of her face.
She finally like shakes her head a little bit, and you see her eyes focus in a little bit. Are we? Where'd the facility go?
We met Tashira, and I'll sort of gesture
Yeah.
over because this is while they're still talking.
Yeah,
So,
I remember. Yeah, Tashira.
and she brought us here to their camp. They're going to help us get through the mountain range. Have you been out of it this whole time?
She looks just confused. She's definitely lost some time. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I must have dozed off or
Okay.
something.
It's draw in. It's okay.
She kind of
It's
leans
okay.
against you. I'm gonna have Cerberus cast that spell on me again tonight.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try and keep you away from that as much as we can.
Sword. Is that why we're here?
Real deep breath.
Sword. Sanguine Moon.
Don't worry about it right now.
No,
Just-
I remember.
Just breathe. Right now, just breathe.
We're destroying it, right?
Yes.
Right. We're not retrieving it.
No, we are not.
She looks like she has this look on her face like she knows two truths in her mind and they conflict with one another. Yeah. We're here to destroy the sword. Or not here. We're going to destroy the sword.
Yes. Right here, we're by the exclusion zone. Give an extra little squeeze. I'm right here with you.
For one of the first times, you feel her kind of like grab onto your arm and squeeze. Just trying to ground herself a little bit. Okay.
Sit there for as long as it takes.
It's a little while when Cerberus kind of notices and he comes over and he casts Remove Curse on her again.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Cerberus.
And she does seem to regain her senses a bit. Quite a bit, actually. She regains a little bit of the color in her skin. The black tinge doesn't go away on her nails, though. But she nods. Okay, it's clearer now. That's right. She looks down.
Okay.
I was stupid to take the sword myself for so long.
It's okay. I know a lot of that time you didn't have a choice, but now there's others with you.
Yeah.
There's enough of us. It's fine.
She nods and gives kind of a hopeful half smile. Meanwhile, Tashira is walking along with Melody, and seems she's got her chest puffed up a little bit, and she seems very pleased to be walking next to a knight and an ivory dragonborn and an amethyst scale. She is very excited about all this.
Did that guard ever apologize for being rude?
She kind of just like laughs as if you're making a joke.
And the sincerity on Melody's face is like apparent.
Oh, no. Certainly not to a ruby scale or a dreamwalker.
What do you mean by ruby scale?
Oh, well, much like your scales have the resplendent nature to them, as do mine. She kind of shows that, unlike all the other Scarlet Dragonborn, her scales glitter a little bit like rubies.
And Melody just kind of like leans into the arm that's being shown, and her eyes went from like the cat slits to like the big ol' round orbs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so pretty.
She, if a Scarlet Dragonborn can blush, she does. Thank you. Most people don't think so.
What? Why? It's all glittery and sparkly. Very pretty.
It's not great for combat. It draws the eye.
Isn't that kind of the point, though?
No.
I mean, if you wanted to draw attention to yourself, that's kind of you've kind of got like a built-in feature.
Well, were I bigger and stronger, that might well serve a good purpose for me. But as I inherited more of my mother's body than I perhaps would have liked, that is, well, it's for the best that I don't get hit.
I mean, that's true. Just because you're bigger doesn't mean that you're stronger.
Well, I'm quite small for our people.
What? I mean, you're taller than me.
And she kind of like steps a little closer and just kind of like puts a hand over Tashira's like where her height is,
Yeah.
and then compares it to hers.
See?
Oh, I mean, yes. Although the ivory dragonborn are quite short in stature compared to many of our brethren.
Yeah, it's kind of why we have to be a little smarter about things.
I find the ivory to be utterly fascinating. I've greatly enjoyed getting to follow your mother in battle.
I didn't even know she could fight like that.
She is ferocious beyond description.
Does she still cook a lot of really yummy stuff?
She seems to shift a little as if she knows a secret. Well, I suppose you're her daughter. I could tell you. Yes. Sometimes when we're home, when we're back in High Peak, she'll invite me over for dinner with her and Celesta.
Oh, so you know both my moms.
She rubs the back of her head. Yes. They've well, no one wants to raise a Dreamwalker or a Ruby Scale in the Scarlet. So when I showed up, they've been kind of looking after me for a bit.
So So you also got kind of raised by them?
Oh.
Yes, something like that. They took care of me for the last couple of years. I mean, just for a few years. I stayed with my father until he died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it was years ago, and he was a good man. But you're sure you're their daughter? Like, okay.
I was with them until I was 8, and then we got separated, and it's been,
And she kind of like looks up at the sky, where she's trying to like approximate where the sun is right now.
about 10 summers ago.
Tashira, for a moment, you don't know if Tashira is religious, other than she did mention that she thought your beauty was a gift from Kana. But you definitely think for a moment you can see her cursing her goddess.
Oh, it's good to know that. Hey, you were in good hands. I would know. I was raised by those hands.
She kind of like winces and closes her eyes. Mm-hmm. You sure were. They are very kind, and always have been. Just to be clear, I don't like call them my mothers or anything like that. It's not, it's not like that. It's just I needed someone.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah. I just really want to be clear about that point.
And she kind of like tilts her head.
What's wrong? You look like you look very uncomfortable right now.
Oh no! I'm just this bucket is heavy. You have not gotten to the place to fill it up yet.
Do you want me to carry that for you?
No. I've got it. No. And she continues to walk along with you. You make your way outside of camp. Not very far, though. Just probably, you can still see the camp. But you're probably about 100 yards away, where there is a pond that has a small stream running into it. It's not large, but it's clearly why they picked this place to set up their camp. And she begins to fill up her bucket. I hope I get to see Farhome someday.
Me too.
I
haven't been home for a while, and I forgot how to get home.
Well, I'm sure Celesta and Ambrosia could show us the way, right?
Mhm. They would know. They're both performers.
Oh, they are. Celesta has actually been trying to teach me how to sing.
And you know that face that Pinkie Pie makes when she does like that squeak.
Yeah.
Melody is doing that exact face right now.
You can sing?
No, I said I'm learning to sing, and trying at that.
What'd she teach you?
She's taught me some of the songs of the Ivory. We have songs in the Scarlet as well. I mean, I don't wish to make it seem like we have no songstresses or anything like that. We do, of course. But well, she's quite the teacher.
She's very strict.
She gives a nod like, yes, she is.
But she also taught me that talent is one thing, but discipline is what gets you to hone it. And that's what. I guess Can I tell you a secret?
She leans in, kind of excitedly.
Oh, I in with the ivory, you learn how to hone a craft, and um, as a performer, you enhance that craft, and that's how you help and contribute to heal the world, and and you become a performer doing that craft.
Hmm.
I didn't find my craft until uh oh, I found it a little later than um most uh most younglings my age. I mean, Discord kind of got hers almost immediately, and she wouldn't let me live it down. Even though I mean, I mean, it's not my fault. She uses me as her model a lot.
She blinks. Fashion
Mm-hmm.
model? Oh.
Mhm.
You know,
Why
it's
would you
interesting.
Hmm?
Well, I just think it's interesting. You talk about saving the world and honing your craft, and as different as our people are, really, that's not any different than what our people teach and talk about. The craft that we choose may be different, but our number one lesson is whatever your passion is, to pursue it and exemplify it.
Mm-hmm.
For many of us, that is fighting. It is what our people are frequently brought up doing. But there are writers, there are musicians, there are artists, all types of people. Whatever their passion is, that is what the Scarlet teaches, to pursue it to its greatest extent.
So your passion is with the spear?
Yes, I have. Oh, this is going to sound stupid. She looks embarrassed.
No. Well, if you're uncomfortable, you don't have to.
No. When I was young, I grew up in the Fey Forest, and I used to love watching birds. I thought they were gorgeous. I thought the bright plumage, the different colors, their feathers looked like my scales. They were bright and resplendent, and I envied them their ability to fly. And so when I eventually did come to the Scarlet, I learned of their ways of the Lancer, and it was the closest I'd ever seen to a dragonborn flying. And so I learned their art and found a passion for it.
This here, that's not dumb. That's beautiful. You
There's
found
no
a
other way to say it.
express
She swoons
yourself.
for a moment.
You found a way to express your identity, and you made it your own.
Thank you, Melody. Meanwhile, back at the camp, Ambrosia is still sitting around the fire with you all. Well, I regret to inform you that our journey to High Peak will take us through the Geistmoor. It is a disconcerting place for many. If you have any reservations about death, I would urge you to end your quest here.
Rialto kind of blinks and looks at Caldana.
That's
Yeah, Caldana's kind of smirking to herself.
that's not really an option.
Very well then.
What should we expect?
I could as easily tell you what to expect on Mitra Glorianda as to tell you what to expect in the Geistmoor.
Fair. But if I may, perhaps some form of context would be helpful. What do most people see?
Spirits. It is said that all who die go to the Geistmoor eventually.
When you say spirits, do you mean spirits like in the marsh, in the ice melt marsh?
No, I don't. I've only been by the Ice Melt Marsh once, but I recall the feeling of it there. Those spirits are trapped there. The spirits in the Geistmoor are waiting there. And there is a difference.
Waiting to go through?
She nods. Yes.
Like, for boss?
That is what many believe. It is believed that there is a temple to Boss within the Geistmoor.
Seems dangerous for living persons to go near a temple that spirits will be near.
Indeed.
Interesting.
Hence, I warn you.
She writes this down. Maybe there's a safe way to investigate.
A little while later, Melody and Tashira return. Tashira looks like she had a great time. But she goes and she sits down, and Ambrosia kind of gives her a long look and then nods. Tashira, did you enjoy your talk with my daughter? Tashira stiffens. We had a lovely and cordial time, yes? Did you?
We didn't have any rope.
Wait, what?
Cordial?
Cordial. To be polite.
Oh.
And Melody just kind of like thinks on that for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so.
Ambrosia.
Why didn't you just say polite?
Because synonyms sometimes add extra spice to language. That's what
What
my
the
mother
heck
would
are
say.
synonyms?
Melody,
All I know are cinnamons.
Melody, dear, if you are to be a singer, we will need to work on your vocabulary.
That's true.
I
You would
can-
need
I-
several
I mean-
rhymes.
She smiles. Gets up to her feet. Well, I will excuse myself for the night and go ensure everything is proper around camp. We will leave at first light.
Oh, Mom, can it?
And she kind of like she raises her arm like she's in class.
Yes, daughter.
Can Tashira sleep near us? I like to talk with her a little bit more.
Shira has a small nosebleed that she hides.
Oh my god.
And Ambrosia raises her eyebrows. Oh, well, I wouldn't want to impose on poor Tashira. She has stretched herself so thin this evening. And Tashira's like, no, it's fine. It's okay. I don't mind. Ambrosia gives a knowing smile and just turns and walks away.
I mean, if I was gonna say if she's worried about keeping us guarded, I mean, I know how well you fight, and I trust you.
Worry not, Lady Melody. I will keep watch this evening.
Oh, right. Are you calling me lady because of
You're a knight.
right?
Such would be
Right.
proper.
That's right. It's like how I say Sir Varys instead of Varys.
Precisely.
Oh, I never thought about that.
I thought it was his first name.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh.
his first name isn't Sir?
Yeah.
First name, sir,
Of the
last
Order of
name,
Oakenash is
Ferris.
quite a long last name, but yes. All right.
There's
I was gonna say, I feel like that's the third time we've made that joke.
So unless
You're telling me Bartholomew isn't your first name?
unless anyone has anything else,
did I use the sending stone today yet? I mean, we don't. I don't know if we can just.
I don't think you have
If
sending
you want me to
stone
pretend that I already
today.
did it, that's fine. But I only had
Um,
one thing I was thinking of asking, but it's
no, you can do a sending stone before you go to bed.
okie dokie.
So you do. You, as everyone is kind of settling down, you lay down your bedroll and, promptly pass out on it. Let me get something more appropriate for back in town.
Sorry, this was something I had wanted to ask last time and I forgot to ask. So.
You appear in in Martine Sunvale's office. He is currently just trolling through reports, and he looks stressed out at the moment. But as he glances up and sees you, his face lights up a little bit. Rialta, good evening.
Good evening. Are you going to be sleeping soon?
He looks down at the papers and then looks up at you, and you can tell in his mind he's debating if he should lie to you or not. No, unlikely.
Well, I will tell you once that you may want to reconsider for your health.
Yes, so I am told frequently by many. And yet no one hesitates to keep piling work on my desk.
That is true. I do know that feeling. We are at the Soren Mountain Range.
Excellent.
I suppose I will let you know one thing. You are probably going to receive missive from the exclusion zone as, borders are not doing well.
We already have.
Okay.
It came via sending stone earlier today. Yeah, this is troubling, to say the least of it. That's what I'm doing here, actually, is figuring out how to divide this army into the proposal has been floated to abandon Stone's Throw and go fight this war on one front, not two.
I mean, I suppose Stone's Throw is in the center, but that's also leaving much to be exposed.
And many. I am not interested in allowing the genocide at Moon Bay to come to Stone's Throw as well.
Agreed. I don't know much about war tactics. I do not envy your decisions. But, if it helps, we have found a way to, I don't exactly know what it is, but we have found a way to get through the mountain range. So hopefully soon our mission will be complete.
That was as well. We could use you here. For morale, if for nothing else. There are those who believe that we will be dead in a month. They're wrong, of course. Even in the absolute worst case scenario, it would take years for her to complete a genocide. But, I guess that's not what they mean.
No, they don't mean it literally, usually.
No.
Usually. I wanted to ask if, that one young lady I'd mentioned, Kelsey, had arrived.
He seems to think about that name for a moment. You can tell he hears a lot of names every day. The Dia Asanil that you mentioned, right?
Yes.
Or the Dia Anadwir who is like a Dia Asanil.
Yes.
No, I haven't seen her.
She hasn't arrived?
No.
That's troubling.
You mentioned also that her father was supposed to be journeying here, right?
Yes.
Neither have I seen him.
Extremely troubling. Well, good that I asked. I'll have to check in on that.
I apologize. I mean, it's of course possible they arrived and spoke with someone else, but no one has come to my door by those descriptions or names.
She looks a bit troubled at that, but nods. Perhaps I can convince Sir Varys to look into it.
Of course.
Well, how's Yuki?
She is well, though she misses Mother. I think she has finally begun to embrace that. She is mourning properly, which is good. If I had been quicker about mourning my own father's passing, I would have gotten on with my life much faster.
Well, what about you for your mother?
There will be time to mourn. It is not now.
I see.
I will start with finding time to eat and sleep. Time for mourning will have to come after.
It's fair. Much like sleep, it will find you at some point. Grief
I have
will.
no doubt. When it does, I will have to face it.
Indeed.
But if I fail in my duty now, I will have many more to mourn.
I suppose we all do in a way. Well, I will keep you posted on where things are, but just wanted to tell you that we are moving successfully.
It gladdens me to know that, as difficult as things may look here, they are at least proceeding apace for you. Your Brux's daughter has made something of a name for herself.
Oh, what has she done?
She was sent on a assignment to Moon Bay to look for survivors. Not many were found, though I understand that Saria is being awarded for bravery in her saving of, he checks a sheet on his table, a family that was trapped in a... it has been so long since I've been home. There is a small mine outside of Moon Bay that they apparently had taken shelter in. They were under attack of fiends, and she went against orders to get in and save them.
Oh,
Yes, my understanding is she is being promoted to lieutenant.
my goodness. Well, that's certainly promising. Is she all right?
She is. She is doing quite well, actually.
Good.
She has the makings of a fine officer someday. She worries about her men, and that is the most you can hope for.
Right. There's no... Well, you can certainly try to play it all you want as a ruthless calculus game, but when you're on the ground,
Indeed.
it works differently.
Now, that is what she will have to learn if she wishes to continue advancing any further, that the day will come where she has to order someone else to do the dangerous job, not do it herself anymore. It is good to lead by doing, of course, but there does come a time where your responsibilities are greater than that of the immediate moment. She will need to learn that. But she is young.
Right. And what word of the severed hand?
Chaos, unfortunately. Nothing good. Two of the former wives of Jesse Silver have made a play to have her adoptive daughter put in charge. However, she is with you and is nowhere to be found at the moment. And in the absence, the rest has broken down into squabble.
Yes, it will be some time. She is struggling a bit. I think the sword is affecting her more than we thought, but we are being careful.
It is a weapon of Scala, and every bit as ruthless. Do all that you and he gets cut off as you disappear.
Oh, I didn't even get to say goodbye.
So, in the morning, you are all awakened.
Wait,
sorry.
before before we do. Sunvale's also gonna get a message. A sending message.
Oh boy. All right.
Oh god.
Hold on. So Melody is gonna send Sunvale. Hello. I hope you're okay. Say hi to Yuki for me. Met my mom. She's really cool.
It's a moment later when you get a message back from Martine. He goes, "I'm glad to hear that you are doing well, Melody. I will relay your kind regards to Yuki. I'm certain she will be happy to hear about it."
And because I can do this twice in a day, hold on, because sending is
Third level.
Gonna send another one, and share. You may get a message from Rialta soon. Don't tell her I can do this too.
Sorry, it's you may get a message from Rialta soon. Don't tell her I can do this too.
Yeah.
Okay. He
I know you can.
it's a long moment before he responds this time. I'm quite certain that she's aware, and I don't plan to keep any secrets from her.
Aww.
Good boy.
Last
Yeah, good boy.
last go of this third sending.
Who's it to? Who's it to?
Same. He's getting all three.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Shoot, I forgot. Wait, no. These don't count. Wait, I met someone who's weird. Like, you are with Rialta. Help.
I don't know how the hell we're gonna respond to that.
It's even longer this time. And as he replies back, his voice doesn't sound as confident and assured as it normally does. What do you mean when you say like me in Rialta? Has she said something? Is there something that I should know about what she said? And he gets cut off.
And he can't know until the next day.
Speaking of the next day,
Poor elf boyfriend.
in the morning, you all awaken at first light, and you watch as indeed this camp is packed up very fast. Within 15 minutes, it has gone from a full encampment to being ready for travel. All of you are surprised at this, except for Brux and Falah, who this is actually not incredibly unusual for you. Uruk are known for being able to pack and move an encampment very quickly as well. In fact, you see
is the term.
Yeah, in fact, you see a lot of the exact same techniques, and you are guessing at some point far in the past, picked them up from either either you got them from them or they got them from you. You're pretty sure they got them from you. There's no way these are Dragonborn techniques.
Honestly, imitation's the sincerest form of flattery, guys.
I
I'm
would agree.
touched.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Oh, they love it if you say that. But you all depart out the north, and it's really not too far from here to get to the Geistmoor. We need to switch music. If I can find it, there it is. As you all, there we go. Between the exclusion zone and Savior's Cradle rests the Geistmoor. It's a place not often spoken about, but more out of reverence than fear. It is believed to be home to the only temple to Bos, said to be the oldest standing structure on Terrasen. Whether that is true or not, it is undeniably true that the barrier between life and death is thin in the Geistmoor. Ask anyone west of the Northern Divide and they'll have a story about a spirit or a monster seen in the moor. And as your party approaches, it certainly lives up to its reputation. A pall hangs over the place, though not one of dread or despair, mind you. Simply inevitability, as if the spirits of the moor have no need to threaten you, for if they are patient, you will join them eventually. Everyone always does. It is also unnaturally quiet here. You do hear animals and insects and foliage brushing in the wind, but everything is somewhat muted. It's as if all living things here keep quiet out of respect for the dead. On the edge of the Geistmoor, Tashira stops and looks at you as the others are already starting to move in. You may see things within the moor. You may find yourself unexpectedly isolated. It is imperative that you not stop moving for too long. The spirits of this forest are patient, but they will not wait forever. So keep moving and you'll find your way along, I promise, even if you're isolated. And also, as best you can, try to do as the things here do. Keep quiet. And indeed, you notice that the Dragonborn, the Scarlet, where they're normally pretty rowdy and kind of joking as they travel, here they are reverent. They are quiet as they march forward, almost solemnly. So, you enter into this swampy moor, a great wetlands at the base of the mountains of the Soren Range. It is dark in here, but not so much so that you cannot see. Things are dimly lit with above head the great trees that rise right up out of the swamp. Their branches intertwine over the soft, muddy walkways, blocking out a lot of the sun, but enough still that you can see your way forward. Certainly, you would not want to travel here in the dark. It would be, well, if the ghosts didn't get you, quicksand might. And as you continue to march along, Caldana's prophecy comes true. For you walk, and it isn't long before you find that you are completely alone. Caldana, we start with you. If I can find your song.
I'm in danger.
Caldana, as you walk along the path, you do realize that you are suddenly alone. You are certain that a moment ago you were walking among your friends, but Tashira's words ring in your mind, even if you find yourself suddenly isolated. Just keep moving, and you'll find your way back. Don't linger anywhere too long. The forest, the moor is quiet, and you can sense the presence of people here, all around you, spirits. They don't seem to mean you any harm. Some of them maybe have a passing curiosity as to why someone living walks through their domain, but no malice in it. These are not angry, vengeful ghosts. And as you emerge into a clearing, there is someone sitting on a log and looking at you. Someone you recognize.
Oh no.
She's a black-haired tiefling, and she bears a striking resemblance to you, save for the hair color. You recognize your sister when you see her. As Krelsha looks up at you.
Caldana is done speechless because she didn't expect her sister to be dead.
Neither did your sister. She gazes at you. Sister. She tilts her head.
I thought you'd still be alive in the mountains.
She nods kind of solemnly and looks around. Oh, yes. As did I. But no. I am waiting for my turn.
I have no idea what to have Caldana say here.
You could just keep walking.
How long have you been waiting?
It is hard to say. I don't think very long. Certainly much less time than some of the other spirits here. After you were gone, I tried to rally everyone like you had. The head of Clan Dusk challenged me for the right to rule. I lost, and I died.
I'm just making an assumption she's not exactly tangible.
No. You would say
Okay.
you can definitely see through her.
Caldana just kind of takes a deep breath. I'm sorry.
Why?
Leaving that on your shoulders.
She thinks about it. Caldana, I never believed in your message. I didn't believe in what you wanted to do. I didn't believe that lashing out at Mina's Grove would bring our people anything but sorrow. But I believed in you, and that was enough for me to go along with you. But once you were gone, well, my belief was found wanting, and that is why I lost.
For what it's worth, you were right.
She nods. Thank you. She looks towards the path. If you do not wish to stay here, you should continue walking.
Caldana kind of nod, start making her way.
She just looks back down at the ground, continuing
Well,
to wait her turn.
before Caldana actually goes, she'll kind of look back. I hope your turn comes soon.
Me too. No one has had a turn in a while. Hopefully they'll start again soon. Meanwhile, Rialta,
Yes.
you're making your way through the forest, or through the moor, and like the others, there is... The fog has grown thick, and it is almost no time at all before you find yourself isolated. You look around, searching for your friends, and they are nowhere to be seen. No one is.
Suspicious.
But you take comfort in that because you like when things go according to plan, and Tashira warned you that this may happen.
I keep walking.
What is not according to plan is that as you are walking the path, you see someone standing next to a sign, reading it as if they are trying to figure out where they're supposed to go. They are a dwarven woman with pale blonde hair and deep green eyes. One you know very, very well.
Her breath kind of catches as she freezes.
She gazes in your direction. Rialta.
Opal?
She smiles. Oh. She quickly hurries over towards you. Oh. Oh, thank heavens, I thought you had died.
No, I have to come through here.
All have to come through here eventually.
Right, but in the living way, I'm
Oh.
going past.
Oh. That is well. I am happy to see you well.
Indeed. What, why are you still here?
Oh. I'm waiting my turn. As all the spirits here are.
This must be quite the wait.
Yes. Yes. There it is. Lately, longer it seems. I'm not certain. When I first got here, spirits passed through. Most spirits have to wait a few years. But, lately, no one's been moving through.
Oh. Right. The Red Lady.
Yes, that is who I'm waiting for. She will come and take me to boss.
There may be a delay in that.
Then I will wait here.
She kinda, her words kinda get choked in her mouth. Saren's not well.
The pain on her face, even here, is visible. I know.
You do?
I'm watching.
I'm sorry, I couldn't
No,
help him.
don't you apologize. Look what I have wrought upon this world. With my dishonesty.
It's not just you, it was both of us.
I hurt him so badly.
I'm going to figure it out. Okay?
If anyone can. When I found out I was with child,
You what?
that's why I married him.
Her face goes pale.
When I found out I was carrying his baby, I didn't know what to do.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have helped. I would have.
I know. You would have continued to be there whenever I needed you. You would have continued to do as you were doing and never finding the happiness that you deserved. And I couldn't let you do that. So I married him. And I loved him. I did. I always loved both of you. But I had to let you go. I had to let you have a chance to find happiness.
I just wish you didn't lie to do that.
I know. I'm sorry that I did. I know it doesn't mean really anything now that I'm dead, but I am sorry.
This baby didn't survive, did it?
No. No. And it racks him.
Yes, it does.
She's promised that she'll let him meet his child if he helps her.
It doesn't work that way.
He doesn't know that.
Or maybe he does, but can't believe it. He feels he's too far gone.
Yeah. There is no such thing, Rialta. It's too far gone. Doesn't exist. It's a lie we tell ourselves to justify our actions. He's not too far gone. He loves you. He loved our child. He loved me. And deep down, he loves this world, and he'll remember it before the end. I promise.
Just watch over him. I'll find him.
I'll try.
And I'm going to be okay too. I promise.
I'm glad.
I have
Maybe.
friends.
Friends?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they truly are the luckiest people I've ever known.
Thank you. I have to go before I get lost.
Yes, of course. I hope that maybe in a future life we find one another again.
Me too.
And I hope that if we do, I'm better to you in it.
I'm sure one exists.
Goodbye, Rialta.
Goodbye. And she will keep walking
Mm-hmm.
as she is tearing up.
Mm-hmm. She returns to looking at the signpost as if trying to make her way through a maze with no exit. And now, Brooks.
Hi.
Brooks, you are wandering through the moor. You've been wandering now for a minute with no one around you all of a sudden. Most concerningly, Falah is not near you, and you don't know where she is. You had been holding her hand, and even as you found her gone, it still felt like her hand was in yours, but there was nothing there. But you make your way along, and it's not too long before you do come across someone a little bit more corporeal than the other spirits that you see here. Most of them are hardly wisps, but like what Rialta and Caldana saw, you do see one that has chosen to make itself known to you. There is a woman with black hair. You recognize her. a human. I've seen her a couple times before now. As Gentleman Jesse Silver is walking along the edge of the moor, and she glances over at you. Brooks,
Slow and wave.
fancy meeting you here. Even in death, she's got her cigar. Fancy meeting you here. I see you're here under better circumstances than I am.
Such as they are.
How is Fala?
I've got to be honest. I'm worried about her.
Are you? Why?
She's not handling the sword well at the moment.
She gives a look. Hells, Brooks, I'm dead. You might have lied to me at least.
I'll just sort of stare at her for a moment. Would either of us want that?
No, I suppose not.
We're doing what we can, but it's getting worse.
I failed her in more ways than one. I sent her on this quest with you. I had her hold on to the sword, knowing that it would tempt me. I did not end up being much of a mother.
Snort. Neither did I. But
Oh,
I'm trying to make up for it now.
well, perhaps among the three of us we'll make one barely passing mother.
I'm sorry.
For what? You're doing as I instructed you to do.
That I didn't get a chance to properly thank you for taking care of her. And just sort of gesture at her.
Ah.
Your condition.
Well, this is, like so many things I'm finding, ultimately my fault. Poor choice of help. It is frustrating, Brooks. I spent my entire life trying to make a better world, and instead I die leaving it on the precipice of disaster. One can't help but feel like their life was meaningless.
Well, if we manage to pull through, it will largely be because of your efforts.
Make sure you tell them that when they write the history books, please.
I'll see what I can do.
Also, could
Are
you
you
make me
aware-
like 3 inches taller in the stories? She smiles.
Are you aware we ended Delilah?
Pleasantly so. Treacherous bitch.
I agree.
You know, there was a woman a long time ago, before I was Gentleman Jesse Silver, but she taught me never stomach a backstabbing bitch, I believe were her exact words. Of all people who would give me the advice that would have saved my life, I could never have imagined it would be her.
What's done is done. All we can do is press forward.
Indeed. One would think that when one spends their life working as hard as I have, you wouldn't be at the back of the line when you get here. The line hasn't even moved since I've gotten here. It's infuriating.
It may be some time before it does.
Of course. Well, the abode is not necessarily what I'm used to. The others don't complain. I guess since I can't smell anything, it's not so terrible. Don't get hungry. I do miss Odile.
She's not here with you?
No.
separated or otherwise?
Difficult to say. 3 theories. Either she's here and I haven't found her. Possible. It is a large place. She's not here because she's alive. Also a possibility. The woman was even better at escaping death than I was. Or, as you Uruk believe, she completed her duty and she has gone on to the celestial realm. I doubt it, but perhaps. Though I would very much love it if an Insidiae were to do so. Anyway.
Well,
Perhaps this is my
suppose this
punishment.
is it then.
Indeed. Brooks,
Jesse.
I wanted to give something better to the people of this world. I wanted to give something better to the tieflings who were kind enough to raise me. Never think my actions altruistic. I profited plenty off of everything that I did. But
As you yourself were first to point out, you treated them better than most did.
and ironically, for everything I've accomplished, and those things are numerous indeed, I think the thing that I'm most proud of is the work I did with Hell's Hold. I hope that whatever comes next is better than what came before.
A fine hope.
Goodbye, Brooks
Me.
Audleborn.
Just sort of bow head,
Mm-hmm.
exit.
Which takes us over to our final one. Melody.
E.
Melody, you were very close to Tashira as you were walking along, watching her ruby scales kind of glint in the fog. And with barely a misstep, suddenly you're walking alone. For a moment, you're frightened. But you remember what Tashira said. It would pass quickly. And your mother has already gone on ahead, so clearly things are okay. So you keep walking. And it is about, 10 minutes of walking before you come across someone. They are resting very comfortably. They are sitting with their legs crossed and they have their eyes closed as they just seem to be enjoying the serenity of the Geistmoor. But you do recognize Onrei Dosuki the moment you see her. That said, while you do recognize her, she does look different. Younger. A lot younger. When you last saw her, she looked like she must have been in her 90s. This woman, though she wears the same robes, filling them out better, is probably in her mid to late 40s. But you know it's her the moment you see her.
Did she look like when she brought the cave ceiling down? Does she look more like that version of her? Like her burning through her life force to
Yeah,
basically like
no. She looks very serene right now.
No, I mean like in terms of like physical appearance.
No, she looks like she's probably like 47. She looks young
Okay.
compared to how you saw her last. Her eyes open as soon as you speak. A small smile graces her lips.
On Rado?
Ah. Melody of the Ivory. It's good to see you again. I must say it
Sorry.
is much nicer this time. My eyes actually work and I can see again. You are lovely.
I. How have you?
How have I been? She smiles. Quite the thing asking a ghost how they've been. Dead. But, well, everything is quiet. Everything is peaceful here. The never-ending responsibility, the never-ending weight, it has finally let go. It is nice.
Could um I'm I'm sorry. I have to keep going, but would you
You
be
do.
able to walk with me
You
for
see
a
her
little bit?
You see her rise up from her spot and make her way over to you. Gone is the hobbled old woman who could barely move until those final moments. She walks gracefully and elegantly, a true elven noblewoman, as she makes her way along. As you take in her features, now it is plain to see how much both Yuki and Martine take after her. She is beautiful. But she walks alongside you. It is comforting, is it not, to know that no matter what it is that we do with our lives, this is where we end up. That we all pass through here en route to our next life. No matter what imbalances or injustices we faced, here we are all equal.
A little bit, but also kind of sad because, well, it's kind of like a last stop before you have to say goodbye forever to everyone and everything you've known.
It is true, from a certain perspective, I suppose. And yet you're not saying goodbye. You're saying, I'll see you soon. You will enter through the great cycle and be reborn again into this beautiful world. As someone else, yes. A whole new life. And yet, still you will be.
I guess so. I mean, if you get reborn as someone else, you get to experience the beauty of the world all over again.
You get to have your first love again. Find your favorite food again, your favorite song again. You get to find your passion and pursue it once again. You get to live your life again in new and exciting ways that you could never have imagined the first time around. If there is a
You
more
get to
beautiful
heal
gift in
again.
this world, I do not know it.
And you get to heal again.
You do, if that is your choice.
They miss you a lot, you know.
Have they found one another?
Mm-hmm.
Good. She smiles genuinely at that. It does my heart well to know they are together. My son. My son grieved when his husband died. The pain was so visceral in his heart that he could not bring himself to face family or friends or anyone that he cared about anymore. He decided he would rather not have than to lose. She smiles kind of knowingly. And it does this soul well to know that some people in his life have convinced him otherwise now.
I've learned that dwarves are kind of persistent that way.
Young
Also
elven girls,
stubborn.
too.
And she kind of like tilts her head at that.
Yuki.
See, that's a love I can understand.
Of course. The love between a sibling or a mother and its child.
Family.
Family. Familial love is a beautiful thing, and I would know. I was the Onrado of it. But there is a special kind of beauty in the love you find for people outside your family. We do not choose who our family is, Melody. But the person that you choose to call your beloved, that is someone that you have looked at. You have weighed and measured their soul. You have seen them for who they truly are and decided that they too are worth loving in the same way you would anyone else. And that is beautiful too.
And Melody just kind of like has a kind of sad smile at that.
Well, from how you describe it, from what I've seen with Aldana and Rialta, it does sound like a beautiful thing. I mean, there's a lot of songs about it.
Yes.
I hope one day I get to write my own song like that.
I suspect you will. You know, the funny thing about love is so many people experience it so differently. For some, they fall in love at first sight. You lay eyes on someone, and it's as though you can see clear through them. You can see into their heart the moment you look at them, and you know, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that they are the one. You love them wholly and completely, knowing nothing more about them than what you see. And for others, it takes time. For others, it is not what you see that matters, but it is how they react, how they treat you, what they say to you, and whether you can feel safe opening up to them and truly being yourself around them. That counts for love. And neither is any more valid than the other. Melody, you are a kind and gentle soul, and you will not feel love until you get to share that with someone truly. But I believe that when you do, you will love more than any who have ever walked this world before.
I get the feeling that the way you speak of this kind of love is different from the love I feel for the Whispers. Because I love them.
Oh, yes. Your comrades, your companions. You love them. You would lay your life down for them, just as they would for you.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful, too. Do you know what love actually is, Melody?
From how I've been thinking about it, it's experiencing the giving as much as the taking.
Yes?
You give much of yourself to someone as you take in who they are. And yeah.
Love is partnership. Love is simply what it is when you and someone else, or many someone else's, are greater than the sum of your parts. Whether that's your family, whether that's your friends, or whether that is the person you have chosen to call your soulmate. Love is merely a way of saying that you care about the two of you, or the three of you, or the 10 of you, more than you care about the one of you. That is all it is.
Well, if what you say is true, then I have a lot of love to give. I love the world.
She nods. Yes, you do.
And, well, I don't care how many times I have to pass through this place for me to see that big dream of mine.
Mm-hmm.
But one day I hope this world can really know peace and healing. It's been hurt a lot
It has.
in tiny ways and in very, very big ways. But there's a lot of beauty and love it's got left to give, and
Mm.
well, if I can help show people that, hey, the world's still beautiful. It's just hurting a lot, and well, it can't heal by itself. You gotta help it along. And I think I'll be okay with that.
Change is a fascinating thing. It can be a slow process, one that is twisting and winding, and at times you don't even see it happening. And the downside to this is that it takes a very long time, but it's relatively painless. And change can be a fast, abrupt, chaotic thing. And often it hurts. Often people suffer for it. But the beautiful thing about mortals is we have the opportunity to make that change something for the better. I stayed on this plane to be with my child, but doing so allowed me to help all of you. And I wouldn't change anything about my choices. Whispers in silence.
I have to go soon.
You do.
But before I do, the next time I get to talk with Sunvale and Yuki, I don't think I get to call him Martini yet. But did you want me to pass on anything for you to them?
She smiles at that. What a kind heart you have. Yes. I have a message I would like you to give them. And I will give that to you privately in between sessions.
Okay.
And so, as with all the others, you continue on into the dense miasma of fog. And all at once, the four of you, or the five of you, because Varys also did so, the six of you, I should say, emerge. And just as quickly as you were separated, you're all walking alongside each other once again. Tashira just ahead of you as she leads you and follows after.
Melody just kind of walks ahead, but there are tears streaking down her from her eyes.
Caldana is kind of uncharacteristically wiping away tears of her own.
Fala looks conflicted, I would say. She is not crying.
Yeah. I'm making sure she's all right.
She is gripping the hilt of her scimitar very tightly. And she does not say anything as she continues to march along.
Ariel Tussi is contemplative, but as she looks up at everybody, did you all see someone?
Yes.
Fala makes a reaction like this. She doesn't seem like she's in a good mood. Yes.
Seems the Red Lady's disappearance is causing great delays.
All the more reason we should hurry then. Set things right.
Right, of course.
Melody's gonna pull out her lute, Dragon Song, and she's gonna pluck a few strings, and without really any prompting to it, she's going to sing what do you call it? A song about rest of the Red Lady, guidance, peace. Comfort. And she's going to continue as everyone goes along in the Geistmore.
I'm going to presume this is a relatively quiet song.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's kind of like a requiem.
Yeah, it's very reverent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The guy, she'd title it the Guiding Requiem, but
Beautiful. And you march along, plucking strings occasionally in a kind of quiet tone, singing along a beautiful song. Spirits don't seem bothered by it. In fact, many seem to be moving with you. But only for a little bit before they then trail off back to wherever they would go. And as you all continue to march forward, a shape looms in the foggy distance. Beneath your feet, the mud and dirt path starts to become a series of stone tiles, where at one time they probably fit together quite neatly. Time and age has caused them to shift, rise, and weather away. And as it becomes clear, you find that it is actually a series of tall columns wrought from stone. They are ancient, crumbling in many places, and covered with mildew and moss. There doesn't seem to be a building here, though. Instead, only a massive set of stairs that descend downwards. The Sorin Rangers continue their march without a word, descending down the stairs. Tashira glances back at you as you reach the top of them. It is good to see that you all made it through. Getting through the Geistmoor can be tricky.
Is it always like that?
No. If there is a spirit that particularly wishes to speak with you, it can be.
I see.
I spoke with my father once in there. It was nice. I got to say goodbye to him.
It will be quite crowded soon.
It has already been quite crowded. The attacks people have been suffering from creatures coming out of the Geistmoor is due to the restless nature of the spirits, with no one being checked through. In ancient times, this temple was to Boss, as I'm sure you know. Though, interestingly, it has never been lived in. Even the oldest rooms down there show no sign of being living quarters. We will be resting in the lowest level of the temple before we make our way to High Peak. We should be able to make it tomorrow, though.
Very well. Shall we?
Very well.
Indeed. She leads you down this massive set of stairs, kind of hurrying so you can all catch up with the other Soren Rangers. Very important not to get left behind here.
I imagine.
Something does set upon you immediately as you descend onto this first floor down. You find yourself in a long hallway, and other hallways frequently seem to branch off, although there's no doors or archways or passages. All of these hallways look exactly the same. The walls are all the same deep green color, and no distinguishing marks of any kind are visible. It's almost with equal parts horror and admiration that you realize this temple is one massive labyrinth.
A lost maze for souls, perhaps?
Tashira nods. Fortunately, the Scarlet Dragonborn seem to know their way through.
That's good.
They take you through this massive labyrinth, twisting and turning, and sometimes almost seeming to double back, but not quite. Never taking a wrong turn. They seem to know just where to go. And at the end of the floor, you make it to the other side. There is another set of stairs that descends down, turns, comes back down, and yet another labyrinth. It has taken you almost an hour to make it just across this first area. And there is another one.
Why the labyrinths?
Tashira glances at you. This is the way to the next life, or so legend says.
I see.
It is believed that if you die, the Red Lady will guide you through this.
Ooh.
Indeed. Caldana, you indeed can't help but finally understand the Red Lady's charge to guide the souls of the fallen to Boss. For indeed, a soul could search for eternity in this place and not find their way through. You make your way... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I have no idea if this is something that's even possible for her to do. But as she, starts to understand that, she's gonna think about how the Red Lady's mentioned, her power is in Caldana's tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to try to tap into that to maybe some of them can follow.
Interesting. Give me a religion check.
Oh boy. The hell do I add to religion?
Intelligence usually.
Ooh, I do have proficiency in that. 16?
You focus on your tattoo. And for the first time in a long time, it burns. It doesn't move or aloft on you, but it burns the way it used to when it tried to keep you from your memories. And yet, you're able to overpower it now. You are stronger than you once were. And as you walk, you see the faint flickering lights dancing and moving around, and you recognize these as will-o-wisps. Souls that have long since forgotten their appearance and lost the ability to maintain their form, wandering, trapped in this maze. And as you walk by, these little wisps seem to spot you, attracted to you like a magnet, and they begin to follow you. No one else sees them, but you do plain as day. You continue onwards. You repeat this process of descending a set of stairs and then moving through a labyrinth 8 more times. A total of 9 floors and 9 hours of travel, knowing exactly where to go. But at last, you emerge on the bottom floor. Here, everything looks practically new. The large, roughly square room has a tiled walkway made from reflective black stone in the shape of a cross, and the 4 corners of the room are reflecting pools with perfectly clear water. Rising up out of each of the 4 pools is a black stone obelisk with a blue flame atop it, casting an eerie light throughout the room. On the far side of the room, there is a large stone archway, though it doesn't seem to lead anywhere. Instead, it is just an arch at the end of the path. To the walkway to the right, there's a small encampment where some of the Scarlet are setting up. And to the left, the wall has actually fallen away, creating a massive hole nearly 30 feet across. The tunnel is kind of strange, as it doesn't look excavated. The walls are partially reflective and smooth. To your right, though, the Scarlet are all beginning to set up camp. Many of them look very tired, having just walked 9 hours down a labyrinth.
It's a long time.
Caldana, your wisps continue to float around you. They don't seem to, float around exactly you. They just kind of go wait in the middle of the room, just floating around. They seem to be where they're supposed to be.
So I don't get the sense I need to lead them, to the archway or anything? Okay.
They don't seem to be following you anymore. They seem to have been dropped off at their checkpoint. You have completed the escort mission. Well done.
Nobody died.
Just out of
Except
curiosity, has the tattoo been, glowing the entire time, when she's raging, or...?
It has been glowing, yes. Not moving, but glowing, to be clear. So, everyone has begun to set up camp. What do you do?
Well,
Aldana's gonna spend a couple minutes staring at the things that no one else can see.
Yep.
Caldana, are you
Set up.
all right?
Caldana's gonna jump a little bit. You can't see them, can you?
See what?
Well, would I know that they, I assume I would know Will-o'-the-Wisp were spirits.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
everyone
fine,
here would
yeah.
know what a will-o'-the-wisp is.
The wisps?
Some of the spirits who've been waiting for their longest turn, perhaps?
Yeah. Once I figured out exactly what it meant that the Red Lady has to guide them to boss, tapped into the tattoo as much as I could, and they followed.
Well, you can't make your stand here or anything, but hopefully it is
Well, they're not following me anymore.
Well, we are all just whispers in silence after all, but I'm sure some appreciation has been made for how far they've gotten.
Tashira approaches. Well, well done. It's a taxing journey, I know.
Indeed.
Tomorrow we'll, she motions to the large hole. We will set out, and we should be able to arrive within, 4 or 5 hours.
Very well.
She smiles.
Do we need to put up watches, do you think?
No. There is nothing here that is, no creatures come through here. Nothing you need to be worried about anyway.
Very well. Well, otherwise she will
Very
help
well
set
then.
up camp, and she is going to be writing in her journal.
I was actually going to say, before Rialta goes, Caldana will kind of speak up again, her voice breaking a little bit. My sister's here because of me.
What do you mean?
When I died, she took up the cause and got killed for it.
Caldana, she's your sister.
She didn't
Considering-
even believe in it. It was what she thought I would have wanted.
I'm sorry that she's gone. This is an unfortunate way to find out.
Caldana's just gonna pull Rialta into a hug.
Rialta will hug you back.
Aww.
And she will pat, even though she is very small. She is doing her best tight hug. It's very tight. It's like the first time you get like a hair tie and like it makes an indent in your wrist. It's like that. It's a very tight hug.
Falah has gone over to investigate the large hole that leads down.
I'll come over.
She glances at you. You think it's odd that we're going to a place called High Peak and we keep going down?
I am curious, I must say.
This tunnel wasn't dug, by the way.
Meaning.
She motions around. Crystal formations, obsidian. This was melted.
Well, would have been quite a long time ago.
What melts rock like this?
I sort of glance over at the large group of Dragonborn. I've got a few guesses.
She nods at that. Does it occur to you, Mother, that we are two Uruk getting ready to walk into somewhere that has something that can do this?
No part of this journey is without danger. We will have to trust those around us. And sort of nod over it like Melody and her mother. Ambrosia, there we go.
Fair enough. So, you all are able to tuck into camp that night. No one's giving you a particularly hard time this evening. Not here. Here, everything is... The Scarlet are very reverent to this place. They would not cause a scene in here. Everyone just kind of keeps to themselves and settles down for the evening. And you all find sleep. And as you all find sleep, you are eventually awakened in the night. The noise that wakes you up is a familiar one, or at least one you've all heard at some point in your life. A bell tolling. It is a long, slow chime that reverberates through the room, and yet no one else seems disturbed. And as you look around, you notice two things. First, the hollow archway in the room is now glowing, and a swirling purple mist resides within it. Secondly, and perhaps more pressingly, as you look around, your bodies are all still sleeping on the floor, your chests rising and falling gently. But you are outside of them. The 5 of you have awakened. Falah doesn't seem to be with you. She is sleeping. She does not look like she is sleeping comfortably.
Well, we don't appear to be dead. This is strange, though. I think.
A deep voice
Or
rings out. Good evening, brothers and sisters.
I look for the source of the voice.
yep, same.
Yep.
Stepping through the portal is a man with white hair and all black armor. Caldana, you've seen him once before in your vision of the Red Lady's ignition. And as he enters the room, his glowing crimson eyes settle on you, and he motions for you all to approach. are-
Caution high, I do so.
Aldana will
Cautious.
approach. Not as cautious as. Well, yeah, not really cautious. She has an idea who this is, so.
Rialta said that she has never journal.
As cautious as one should be when approaching the god of death.
Yeah, basically.
He gazes at you, his kind of sunken face, seeming to take in your features. But he offers a smile, of all things. If you would excuse me for just one moment. And he glances up towards the will-o'-wisps, which you can now all see, and holds a hand up, and one at a time, they make their way down to him. And he seems to wave a hand over each of them before sending them through the portal. He does this with a practiced motion that you sense he has done over and over again for a very long time. And as the last one goes through, he nods. That's better. Off to see my brother.
I hope we are not called here to be will-o'-wisps ourselves.
No. What a disappointing end to your tale that would be.
It would be disappointing.
Greetings. I am certain I do not need to introduce myself, but manners being what they are, I am Boss, the god of death. You are in one of my temples. Welcome. We do not often receive visitors. We do not often receive worshippers. In fact, I can only think of one who has ever come to my temple to worship.
Aldana will just kind of nod, knowing who that is.
He gives you a very knowing look. And he looks to you, Caldana. I owe you thanks for bringing those spirits down here. They have wandered for so long. Kind of you. Sylvie chose well.
Seemed the least I could do.
The look... Everyone make an... What's your passive insight, actually? What's everyone's passive insight?
It's not great. 15.
Not great at all. My passive
13
insight's
as well,
10.
yeah.
I might be the highest. 'cause
Caldana,
I'm-
I'll let you roll your insight.
Oh boy.
I'm up at the highest.
Not
at
great at
15,
insight.
Because I'm not trained, but I have high wisdom.
Yeah, my insight's just a straight roll. This is great. Oh shit!
Nat 20.
All right.
Okay. Caldana. He is a very practiced individual. He does not betray any emotions. He does not betray anything, in fact. But you see it for just a moment. The pain in his eyes as he talks about Sylvie. And you know that for one such as he to show anything at all that you could see, the pain must be beyond imagination. What he feels, the loss, and how much he still loves her. Well, I hope you will forgive the theatrics, but I have somewhere I am to send you.
Just
Excuse us.
our souls.
Yes. Only your souls could survive there.
Where are you sending us?
Where no mortals have ever gone, but where you must now go.
And do what?
Your purpose will become clear when you arrive. That I guarantee.
Well,
Reynolds is like, why can't nobody answer this question with a straight answer?
yeah, sort of similar tone to her facial expression. Well, let's be on with it then, I suppose.
Caldana's just gonna nod.
He turns and gazes at the purple mist swirling. That would take you to your next life. It is not yet your time. And he waves a hand, and that purple mist changes and twists and becomes orange instead. Now, you may go. Worry not. You'll be back before the morning.
Before we depart, Melody is gonna linger over to where Ambrosia is sleeping.
Mhm.
Assuming Tashira is also
Yep.
probably like sleeping close to where they are.
Yep, they're both doing a heck and snooze.
I'll be back.
I'm holding W.
One at a time, you all begin to step through the portal. As you approach it, you hear his voice one more time. Steel yourselves. What you see, you will never be able to unsee. And know that indeed you are the first mortals to ever enter here. As you all step into the swirling mists, it doesn't feel like an arcane teleportation does. It doesn't have that kind of pop that you usually have. Instead, it feels as if you have aged and died and been reborn and lived once again. Only now you have grown up in the destination instead of your home. It's disconcerting, to say the least of it, but the feeling does pass quickly. You are in a room that looks almost exactly the same as the one you left, except no one is there. And there is no staircase up, nor is there a hole in the wall. There is only one leading down.
Down we go.
Yeah, after a quick look around to make sure there's nothing else, well, okay, this is the only path.
You descend for what feels like hours
You
down the
lied,
stairs.
This is not clear at all.
There's only one way to go. It's pretty clear. You descend for what feels like hours.
No,
down-
he said our purpose would be clear,
Oh,
not our
well.
path.
You understand me.
The stairs twist and turn occasionally, ever downwards. You can't help but think if you had a slinky, you could set the record. But you continue your march down the stairs. until finally you emerge in a large open room, massive. It is incredibly hot in here as magma swirls and churns all around you. Black obsidian pathways spiderweb out across the magma, allowing passage towards a central stone platform. Atop this platform, there is a massive black shard upon which a woman is mounted. 4 obsidian obelisks are positioned in the corners of the platform with hundreds of chains running towards the central shard. The woman's hands are bound above her head, and the many chains hold her in place against the shard. The woman herself has shimmering crystalline hair and scales all over her body that radiate different colors. Her vaguely humanoid face could actually be quite beautiful, save for the murderous look she perpetually wears. She wears no clothes, resplendent scales coating most of her bipedal body, and perhaps more noticeably, a glowing red sword is buried through her heart, runes on it glowing. Brux, you can recognize some of the runes, ancient though they must be. Some of them are still used in the Uruk language. And next to this bound creature, another woman rests on her knees, sobbing. She has pure white hair that runs down beyond her feet and many meters beyond that. She wears a simple white robe, and her voice seems to echo through the room as she weeps.
Is this a vision? I'd see if, like, we can...
Approach.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I'm, like, are we tangible in this?
You are not corporeal, but everything else is. You approach and ascend the stairs, gazing upon this creature and the woman weeping next to it. She looks at you, still crying, tears streaking down her cheeks. She looks as though she's been crying for eternity. She gazes at you all for a long moment. Children of my beloved. It is with some shock that you realize exactly what you are gazing upon. The being mounted on the crystal is Dragon, the 5th born of the Prime Goddess, and her mother sitting next to her. And that is where we will wrap up for tonight.
Oof.
Congratulations, you met God.
Why you gotta stop